Welcome back. As I previewed right before the break, I have a great guest joining me now to talk about this story, Democratic Senator Adam Schiff of California, the former chairman of the House Intelligence Committee. Senator, it's great to see you. We had talked about having you come on the show long before this. There's so many things to talk to you about, but this story is just, I've been wondering all day what your reaction was when you read it. Did you read it 5 times like me? What was your reaction when you read this story in The Atlantic?
It is stunning. I can understand Jeffrey's disbelief or thought that is this somehow contrived because it is so stunning and so incompetent and so dangerous in terms of the planning for this operation and who might have been on this text chain. But what really leaps out at me is that you have the director of national intelligence, you have the head of the CIA, and no one, it appears, bothered to say, hey, folks, should we really be talking about this here? Should we really be using a unclassified channel to talk about an operation, a detailed military operation that's going to take place in a few hours? That is just so striking to me. And it shows both the level of incompetence, but also a certain kind of arrogance that some of the folks on that had to know that they should never be discussing these things on a Signal chat. But there is a feeling that they're beyond accountability. I mean, who's going to hold them accountability? They can break whatever rules. They're stopping the FBI from doing background checks on people. They can deal with national security however they see fit. Of course, an incredible irony given all the attention to Hillary's emails, but just staggeringly irresponsible. And it's not just that they had a reporter by accident on this chat. They should have never been doing this on a chat to begin with. And what's more, who knows what phones they were using? Who knows the safety and security of those phones, whether a foreign government had already penetrated some of those communications. So the dangers are real. There should be a real accounting over this. But you can expect more of the reaction you saw from Hegseth, which is to attack the reporter rather than acknowledging their own dangerous incompetence here. Put pilots at risk potentially, but also it meant that the success of the operations could have been dramatically reduced if, for example, word got out to not just the Houthis, but allies of the Houthis like Iran that could have tipped them off, hey, here's when these attacks are going to start. Here's when you'll know that the next target is upon you. It's just staggeringly irresponsible.
I feel like the fallout of this we're going to feel for some time now, including how our allies react, what happens now, what other information may have been discussed over signal chains. There's lots of questions I have. At a minimum, I mean, I know we're not operating in a normal world. It does feel like someone should be held accountable, should resign or be fired. I know that's probably not going to happen, but you also were a prosecutor. Are there crimes? Could there be crimes that were committed here?
Well, there certainly could be a criminal offense here. I mean, this is information that in a normal world would be highly classified. And so someone could have, very plainly violated the laws in terms of the handling of sensitive national security of information, even if it isn't classified. But I think, to your point also, my guess is that this is probably the tip of the iceberg. This was probably not the first time that the people on this chat use Signal to communicate information that, if not highly classified, was highly sensitive national security information. So who else is doing this? Apparently, it certainly appears to be widespread because no one on that chat seems to have objected to it or even raised the issue. Now, I know we don't know the full conversation because Jeffrey was careful to limit what he made public to protect, the legitimate national security interests of the country, even if the participants in the chat weren't protecting it. But if nobody was objecting, that means that there was a certain routine already in this administration to use such poor tradecraft.
Senator Adam Schiff, I always love talking to you about so many things. You were the perfect guest to talk to about this. I really, really appreciate you taking the time tonight.